Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's IC Realtime webinar. In today's webinar, we will be discussing the Dash line. The Dash line is IC Realtime's line of consumer-level devices, including the Dinger doorbell, as well as the Flutter floodlight camera as well. My name is Michael Caballero. I'm the product specialist here at IC Realtime, and let's get started. So as I mentioned, this is the Dash line. This is IC Realtime's consumer level device line, which consists of, at the outset, our Dinger Wi-Fi doorbell solution and our Flutter Wi-Fi floodlight solution. In today's webinar, we're going to be starting out with the Dinger. So the Dinger, our video Wi-Fi doorbell, the Dash Dinger video doorbell camera supports up to 1080p 2 megapixel HD video with a super wide field of view and IR night vision, enabling you to see who's at your front door through your mobile device, recorder, or automation system. With instant notifications and two-way communication, Dinger delivers peace of mind day and night. So let's take a look at some of the specs on the Dinger video doorbell. So we're going to start out with, of course, HD video, 2 megapixel in resolution. We have a super wide angle field of view, a horizontal 140-degree field of view. We have PIR detection, passive infrared detection, with a horizontal adjustable 120-degree field of view, along with 16.5 feet of distance from that PIR detection. We have night vision as well, 16.5 feet of IR at nighttime. Two-way talk from the mobile application, so you can communicate to the doorbell from the mobile device. Power is AC 16 to 24 volt and DC 12 to 24 volt. We do have a cloud storage solution as well, but it's not necessary, as you can not only record to the integrated 16 gigabit SD card, but you can also attach this doorbell as well as the Flutter to any of our IC Realtime recorders, whether it be our NVRs or our AVRs. And then it's a Wi-Fi connectivity, 2.4 gigahertz, 802.11b, G, and N support. Now, next we have our Dash cloud storage along with our Dash mobile application. Now, the Dash mobile application is free of charge. It is the premier mobile application that you will utilize with the Dash line. However, I do want to make you aware that you'll also have functionality with using this, not only with the Dash mobile application, but IC RSS Pro and IC View as well. So our already existing mobile applications do support the Dash doorbell and the Flutter. However, at this iteration, it does not support the push notifications that you would receive from the actual Dash doorbell or the Flutter. So that's something to keep in mind there. If you want those push notifications, you're going to want to utilize the Dash app for now. Our engineers are hard at work setting up the ICR, the newest version of IC RSS Pro, as well as IC View, to have support for those push notifications. But right now, you will be able to see video from either of these devices in the already existing IC RSS Pro and IC View mobile applications. Now, we do have that cloud storage, but do keep in mind that that cloud storage is not attached to that mobile application. You do not need cloud storage for any of your notifications that would come from the Dash mobile application. Those are two separate services altogether. If you don't want to utilize any cloud storage, you really don't have to, and you can utilize the 16 gig SD card that's already inside the Dinger doorbell. So do keep in mind with that, you can add that to the mobile application. You can add the doorbell to all of our already existing mobile applications, and you can add it to our already existing IC Realtime NVRs and AVRs. Now let's take a look at a breakdown of the actual Dinger. So what you have here in the front view is going to be your PIR detector at the top, your IR LED, your built-in speaker, as well as your built-in microphone, and your indication LED, which we'll take a look at a couple of slides down. Now on the back view, you're going to see your micro SD card slot with 16 gigs included. Now do keep in mind that this has a maximum of, supports a maximum of 64 gigabytes as well. So if you want to upgrade that storage, you have the ability to do so. You have your reset button, and then you have your 2-wire for your already existing doorbell, your 2-wire power ports on the back. Now at the bottom of that back view, you also, under that dust cover, you do have a micro USB port on the back as well. So if you need to power that with alternate means using any kind of 2-wire setup, splicing into your micro USB, you have the ability to do that as well. And there's also a power cable in the box that'll allow you to, if you have to set this up for maybe demo purposes, you can run this to any power port and plug that into a wall and just power the dinger from there. So keep that in mind for a lot of my dealers here who may want to just demo this and have this inside a location as a demo device. You have that ability to power it through micro USB as well. So now let's talk about what comes in the box here. So in the box, you're going to find of course, your dash dinger doorbell, your quick start guide, your surface mounted holder. So that will be mounted to the wall, replacing whatever surface mount is from your already existing doorbell, your cable package, as well as a chime kit. And that chime kit is going to give you the ability to swap out this chime kit for the already existing chime kit. So for your mechanical or your electronic chime kits, you'll have the ability to swap those out with our dinger chime kit. So that way you have full connectivity between the chime kit and the actual device itself. You'll also receive a hardware package with a level, a screwdriver bit, as well as a screwdriver handle. Now, next we have another breakdown of the front and rear, but really what I wanted to make you aware of here is of the LED indicator status. So that LED strip, that LED indicator that we discussed previously, these are what those mean. So blue spinning means that it's calling the mobile application as well as the chime kit. A blue solid means you've established a connection and you are talking to that person through the mobile application. And then the blue flashing is gonna mean an abnormal network. So do keep in mind that you're going to want to have a pretty strong Wi-Fi setup if you're going to utilize this dinger or the Flutter. I would recommend a lot of the mesh Wi-Fi networks or a good, powerful, just wireless router. So here's a few details on how to set up the dinger doorbell. So of course, as I mentioned, this was AC 16 volt to 24 volt or DC 12 volt to 24 volt. Now you have a few breakdowns here of your different methods of adding this device. So you have your 2-wire setup as you see here, which you would then splice, one going to AC power, the other going to a mechanical chime, which will then be replaced by that chime kit. Then you have just your typical AC power, where you would run those 2 wires into your AC power, your already existing 2-wire AC power. And then you would use the Dash Singer Chime Kit, which is sold separately, which will be premiering soon. The Singer Chime Kit is going to be a Wi-Fi chime kit, which will then communicate with the dinger doorbell over Wi-Fi, so you wouldn't require any of that wired setup. Next, you have AC power and then being spliced to an electronic chime, which that chime kit, again, that included chime kit would replace. And then lastly, we have DC power. And of course, it's direct DC power, and you would use the Dash, again, the Dash Singer chime kit, which is sold separately for Wi-Fi connectivity to that Wi-Fi chime kit. Now, this is a quick breakdown of the dinger installation here. So as you see, you're gonna mount that wall plate to your wall using your included secure screws. You would then mount that dinger to that wall. You would level that out using the included level that comes with that dinger doorbell. Once you have everything connected and installed, you'll set up your wiring. You'll mount your dinger to your actual plate. Once you've done that and you've powered on your dinger doorbell, setup is extremely easy. So setup here is simply going to consist of scanning a QR code. Now do keep in mind when scanning that QR code that QR code is on the back of the actual doorbell. So you're going to want to make sure that when you scan that, you either scan that QR code before you mount it to the wall, or keep the box around because the box has the same corresponding QR code that is on the actual doorbell itself. So once you scan that QR code on the box, you'll add the dinger doorbell to your account. And once you've done that, it's simply a matter of connecting to your Wi-Fi. Now, this is a fantastic feature, as with our previous Wi-Fi cameras, there was a lot of setup involved in connecting a camera to Wi-Fi. You would have to hardwire it, log in, connect the camera to the Wi-Fi, then pull it down, and then set that up in your location. With the Dash app, you'll be able to just scan your environment for your Wi-Fi connection, connect that Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. You now have your camera connected, as well as your Wi-Fi, and then you'll just need to go in and play with some of your features, maybe make some adjustments to your PIR field of view, and you should be good. You should be good to go from there. Do keep in mind with this setup, with our 140-degree field of view lens, you're going to be able to use this either if it's parallel mounted or if it's mounted against a wall. So generally, most doorbells, you'll have them to the side of the door, and that's not an issue. You can see straight out, but some doorbells are positioned on the adjacent wall, looking towards the door. Well, with this 140-degree field of view, you'll be able to see your front door, you'll be able to see your walkway all the way up into your entryway. So do keep that in mind, and we are coming out with a few extra features and a few extra devices that are going to help you supplement that, such as a wedged attachment, which will position the Dinger doorbell to direct facing outward, even if it's on an adjacent wall. Now, next we're going to transition into the Flutter. Of course, the Flutter is a Wi-Fi video floodlight camera. The Dash Flutter camera delivers 1080p, 2-megapixel live video monitoring and playback from any mobile device, recorder, or automation system. Protect your home with a motion-activated HD camera and built-in bright LED floodlights. Stay notified with real-time active notifications and two-way communication. Deter unwanted strangers with the 110 decibel remotely controlled siren. Setup is simple, replacing any existing wide floodlight with Flutter's easy app-based setup and robust Wi-Fi from dusk to dawn. Flutter does have you covered. Now let's take a look at some of the specs of the Flutter floodlight camera. So first is going to be, again, your 1080p video. You're going to have your active deterrence in that aforementioned 110 decibel siren. Now, one thing about that 110 decibel siren is going to be that you are able to record your own recordings to use as that siren. So if you don't want to use an audible siren, but you want to create just a recording, an enunciation, you have the ability to do that from the mobile application as well. You do also have multiple lighting modes, so a manual lighting mode, a dusk till dawn lighting mode, as well as a motion-activated lighting mode. And we've also added in a scheduled lighting mode as well. So if you want to just configure a schedule for the lights to turn on and in the evening and turn off when at sunrise, you have the ability to do that as well. You have the ability for two-way talk. So through that 110 decibel speaker, you'll be able to have real-time communication from that floodlight. So again, if you want to announce somebody, if you want to indicate somebody that they're being watched and you're aware of their presence on your property, you have the ability to do that from that floodlight as well. This is an H.265 codec, so that's going to save you a lot in terms of bandwidth, especially that bandwidth over a Wi-Fi connection. And then if you're integrating this into your recorder, it's going to take up minimal amounts of storage due to that H.265 compression. This is IP65. It is Wi-Fi connected. Again, that is a 2.4 gigahertz, 802.11b, G, and N. This does come with 16 gigabytes as well, but do keep in mind that this supports a whopping 256 gigs worth of storage. So not only do you have your storage, you have your storage to your recorders, which this will connect to any IC Realtime AVR or NVR, and then you have that cloud storage option as well. Now, again, you're going to be using the Dash application here for the Flutter as well as the Dinger. You can actually add multiple devices to the Dash application. So if you have a Flutter at the front of your house, a Dinger doorbell, or maybe a Flutter in the front and back of your house and a Dinger doorbell, those are all going to be added to the Dash application. Now, as I mentioned, this is separate from the cloud storage. So all of your notifications you're going to receive regardless of your cloud storage solution. But something I want to make you aware of is that the cloud storage is per device. So it's not per your mobile application. So what that means is it's not like all of the devices that you add to your mobile application are going to have that cloud storage. You're going to have to purchase that cloud storage per device. Great thing is it's only $3 for 30 days of storage, $6 for 90 days of storage, and then $15 for a full year of storage and retention. So really economical in terms of the cloud storage solution. But again, you really don't require them with our integrated 16 gig micro SD storage, as well as the ability to add this to any of our IC Realtime recorders. Now let's take a quick look at the breakdown of the Flutter. So first you have your two floodlights here, and do keep in mind that those floodlights are connected to articulating arms, so you can position those where you need them. You'll have your reset button on the camera itself, as well as your built-in microphone, your lens, your PIR detector, your micro SD slot, as well as your indication LED. Now, something I want to make you aware of here is with those articulating arms, and what you can't see here is that the camera itself also is on an articulating arm, that not only can you mount this to a wall, but you can also mount this under an eave or a soffit. Of course, it's going to depend on how far that overhang comes down, but you do have the ability to hang these over those eaves and soffits if you can't mount this wall mounted. You can mount that under that eave or that soffit and then adjust those floodlights and that camera to push out under that overhang and illuminate any of the area, as well as get your full camera coverage. Now let's talk about what's in the box with the Flutter. Of course, you're going to get the Flutter floodlight camera. Again, you're going to get a quick start guide. You're going to get a hook as well, and that hook is going to help you when you're wiring the Flutter camera. You'll hang that hook on the actual mount, and then you can go ahead and wire your floodlight. You're going to get all the required mounting screws, a hardware kit, as well as that mounting plate. So let's take a look at how to actually mount that Flutter camera. So first, of course, you're going to want to make sure that you turn off the breaker at that junction there. So you're going to want to make sure that you go to your panel and turn the breaker off for that already existing floodlight, or for that zone in your home. Then you're going to go ahead and install that mounting plate. Now you can install that mounting plate with a junction box, or you can install that mounting plate without a junction box. It really all depends on the setup that you have at the home that you're setting this up as. Now, once you apply that mounting plate, you're then going to go ahead and add that hook to that mounting plate, and then add the Flutter to that hook to retain that Flutter while you begin to wire that Flutter into your already existing placement. Once you have that hook hanging, you'll go ahead and start to wire in your Flutter. There are 3 wires here. It's going to be your power wires, and it's going to be your ground wire. So you have your ground wire. You'll have your white wire from the Flutter, which is your neutral wire. All right, and you'll connect that to the already existing neutral wire, and then you'll have your black wire from the Flutter. That is your hot wire, and you'll connect that to the reserved hot wire that's coming out of the wall from your previous floodlight. Once you've mounted and wired in all of your wires, you're then going to mount that Flutter to the actual mounting plate. Once you've actually added that to the actual mounting plate, you're simply going to need to then adjust all of your angles for your camera. And as you can see, as I mentioned, this is a better image, so you can see that the camera is actually on an articulated arm, as well as those floodlights. So again, if you need to mount that under a soffit or an eave, you have that ability to do that as well. Now, once you have everything connected and wired up, again, same process as the actual Dinger doorbell. You're simply going to scan the QR code on the box, or the QR code that you've already scanned on the actual Flutter itself. Once you've scanned that QR code, you're going to locate your Wi-Fi, and you're going to connect the app to the Wi-Fi. And everything is taken care of from there. And then again, you'll simply need to make adjustments to your field of view on your PIR. Now, the field of view on the actual Flutter PIR is a lot wider than the Dinger's PIR field of view. So one thing you're going to want to take into account with that adjustments is the neighbors. So your neighbor on the left of you and the right of you, you're going to want to make sure that you tighten in that PIR detection coverage, so that way you're not getting false positives from any of your neighbors leaving the house or coming and going, and you really minimize the chances of those false positives. So that basically covers all of the dash setup and Dinger setup. As you can see, as a consumer product, this is a lot easier to use than your typical IC Realtime offerings, which are more of professionally installed devices. This can be installed not only by our litany of ICR dealers, but also end users themselves. Of course, you're going to get all of this coverage with a 7-year warranty. The IC Realtime support that you've come to know, and at a great price with a great company behind you. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on today's IC Realtime webinar. My name is Michael Caballero. I'm the product specialist and training manager here at IC Realtime, and have a fantastic day and stay safe.